Good morning, friends. This is Raju Kumar, and today I have come back again with an interesting topic on my first face to face interview I have taken with three candidates. And this video will explain how my experience was, what was expected out of them, and how it has actually proceeded, how it went on basically. So, before I move further, it is my humble request to all of you is kindly like this video. If you have any comments, please put up your comments. Share this video in your circle so that people who are going for the interview are aware what is expected of them and how they can handle and manage such kind of queries, and how they should also go about preparing for the interview. So without delay, let's move further. Just a picture wise presentation how experience of face-to-face interview looks like. These are just the some of the pics I have taken from the internet and added up over here. Let's move further. So these are the contents of this video, and these are the topics which we are going to discuss during this entire video presentation. So we will understand what is face-to-face interview, what all the different varieties of face-to-face interview can be, and the related things of the face-to-face interview. Then we will go about talking about the candidates which I have interviewed along with my team members and along with my other I will say panel members. Candidate 1, 2 and 3 we will discuss about. Out of 3, 2 are for the junior position, 1 is for the senior position. Then I will also talk about my personal opinion on the interview process from the interviewer's viewpoint, conclusion, and then we will wind up this video. Let's move further. So first let us understand what is face-to-face interview. As the meaning itself says, when candidate and the panel member of the interview are sitting opposite of each other, facing each other, this is what is called as usually the face-to-face interview. I will just read out the definition given in this video just for the understanding purpose. Any face-to-face contact with anyone who has the authority to hire or supervise a person with your skills. They may or may not have a job opening at the time you interview with them. This is what is called as face-to-face interview. It can be of different types. Let me give you some examples of it. For example, if a company is conducting a walk-in drive, particularly during the weekend on Saturdays and sometimes even on Sundays, to select the candidates for the job, this is what is called as a walk-in drive. Here, big number of people, I will say the big chunk of people go for the interview from different backgrounds, different experience levels, and different modules. This is one way of doing it. Another way could be the scheduled interview. If it is a scheduled interview, that means they will literally send you an invitation letter to attend the interview, and that will have all the relevant details, who are your contact person and likewise. Here also you have to come along with your hard copy of your resume, fully dressed up as per the interview requirement. and all other related things you need to take care of. So these are the two major type of face-to-face interviews which usually happens. Otherwise there are so many different varieties in the virtual mode as well. I hope so far whatever I have explained is clear to you all. Let's move further. Let's go about my experiences with the candidates. Now we will talk about candidate number 1, and this was meant for the junior position. I mean it was for the associate level consultant position. The interview was going on. So me and one of my colleagues, we both were taking this interview as panel members, and then we started with the introduction of the candidate. Candidate has given his introduction and explained about what all activities and other things they have done so far. We have picked up his resume and started going through it. After going through it, then we decided to start the interview process. But prior to that, couple of other formalities were also pending, like taking the picture of the candidate. So we have used the laptop camera to take the picture of the candidate, and then we also asked for one ID proof just to validate the name and other details to identify the person, whether the person is the same person or some different person. After all these verifications were done, we started with the interview questions. The candidate has mentioned that in the CV that he has good experience with regard to the APP side. So we asked the question, okay, please tell me the payment method in the APP is defined at what level? What is the level at which the payment method is defined in the SAP system? And person was telling to us that it is defined at the company code level. I asked, are you sure? He said, yes. I said, okay, fine. Then I asked next question. Can you please tell me something about foreign currency valuation? What is this and why do we need to do that? And what all setups would be needed in order to carry out the foreign currency valuation? Again, person got stuck up. He was not able to answer me why we need to carry out the foreign currency valuation in spite of having close to 4 years of experience. And the setting part which I asked, that also that person was not able to tell me clearly. Then I move on to the next question. I asked, please tell me what all the important questions, sorry, what all the important differences are there between ECC system and S4 HANA system. So far, the candidate has worked mostly on the ECC system. So on this question also, the person was not able to give us the kind of answers we were looking at from him. Then I asked one question related to, please tell me what is dunning and how do we set up. What all important things are there in case of a dunning. Again same non-clear answers, not proper answers. Finally I asked, okay, please tell me what is the important components of or important segments of a vendor master data. Can you please tell me what all segments a customer master, a vendor master data will have? He was not able to, again, got stuck up. I don't know how he was working and what kind of work he was doing, but I did not get any satisfactory answer for such a simple level of question also. Interesting part was the candidate was certified. Being a certified person also, he was not able to answer me. These are the questions and he was not able to answer me well. So obviously you can understand what could have been the result for this entire discussion. We felt little bit disappointed the way we have received the answers from the candidate. We were expecting little bit better, but somehow we could not get it. And almost 20-25 questions we have asked him, and percentage of answers he cleared were around 20 to 30% only. The rest of the questions were either incomplete answers or wrong answers. So because of that, it did not move further. We winded up the interview and asked the candidate, do you have any questions for us? And whatever questions he had asked, queries he had asked, we replied them, and that is how the first candidate's interview got over. To conclude here, what I will say is, preparation is not a one-time activity. Preparation is an ongoing activity. It must not stop. Let's complete for the other two candidates' experience and then we'll talk further on this. Let's go to the candidate number 2. Again was the junior position and associate level position only. Okay. So again we were the same two panel members. The candidate has almost 8 years of experience, 4 years in the accounting side, I think 4.5 years roughly, and around 3.5 years as it was written in the resume, working as an end user and consultant. So same process with the candidate what we have done for the candidate number 1, same thing was repeated. Pictures were taken, ID proofs were verified. After that we went ahead with the introduction part, and once the introduction got over, we get into the serious discussion of interview questions. We have asked, okay, please tell us what all the different steps of, and the candidates have worked mostly in the AP side. So we thought, okay, let us ask questions on the AP side itself mostly. Asset accounting, no visibility. GL side, no visibility. Controlling side, no idea. And many other topics were completely untouched. So we decided, okay, we will not touch other areas. We will also primarily focus on the banking side and the accounts payable side only. So we asked the candidate, please tell us the accounting entry which you do in MyGo and Myro. And we just got the answer saying that the purchase account debit to vendor account. I said, yeah, that's fine. But do you know what is, do you have any idea what is GRIR account? Have you heard of it? Candidate was looking completely blank, as if we have talked something which candidate has not expected at all. Then we move on to the new question. Next question we asked, okay, you know automatic payment program because that's the area you are working in. Candidate said yes. I asked, okay, please tell me what all steps we need to configure in order to set up the automatic payment program in the SAP system. Candidate was not able to tell me these steps as well, which is very common interview question. This question is being asked, I don't know how many times in the interviews. I'm sure thousands of times. This is one of my favorite question as well. But still, candidate having almost 2 years of consulting experience, 2 years of individual experience, and four and a half years of accounting experience, still not able to tell me. Then I asked, how many segments vendor master data will have? Please tell me. At the vendor master data level, how many segments it will have? Again, no answer, no clear answer. What we were expecting, we did not got that kind of answer. We also asked one small business scenario based question, asking that suppose our company has our company code has 4 bank accounts, and a vendor master data also has 4 different bank accounts. So if I want to pay from a particular bank account from our SAP system side to a particular bank account of the vendor master data, how can we do that? Again, candidate was looked completely blank. We did not get any answer on this. We also asked, let us know any kind of month end and year end activities if you are being part of, or anything you know about it. Again, no idea. In the case of this candidate, almost 90% questions were either unanswered or wrongly answered. 90%. Only 10% somehow we got clear answers. So because of such a poor performance, this also did not go well. And we had to just submit the feedback of the person. And interesting part was, after the interview, we asked, do you have any questions for us? So the candidate was asking, please tell me the answer of all the questions which you have asked in the interview so that I can prepare myself very well. If one or two questions somebody doesn't know, we do understand. But if somebody will not answer anything and then expect us to answer everything back to them, then that is also not justifiable. I just suggested one point to the candidate that please study something, learn something, try to understand something, and try to answer. Everything is available on Google. Did you give a try? Did you try to understand? Did you ask to somebody these things? I could have answered all the questions, but then I felt candidate is literally bluffing with us and saying 4 years of experience, 2 years as end user, 2 years as consultant. I felt like it was 100% only end user experience, literally no consulting experience at all, because all the basic level knowledge also they are missing, whereas we did not go deeper into any of these things. We have restricted our questions only to the selected areas. Still, it did not go well. Let's move to the next candidate. The candidate number 3, and it was meant for a lead consultant position. So, for the lead consultant position, we were the same two panel members, but then one more panel member had joined with us over the phone from a different location. So in total, 3 panel members, one over the phone, 2 face to face, along with the candidate. We sat in a meeting room, and then after completing the initial formalities of verifying the ID and verifying the taking the pictures, we started with the introduction. Candidate has very good experience with regard to variety of activities. The person who was taking interview over the phone was also on a position of like industry consultant, which is one level above than the principal consultant, and he was asking purely questions from the controlling and profitability analysis COPA side. He has also asked questions related to the product costing, MTS, MTO, and quite a lot of business scenario based questions. The candidate was good and had very good decent exposure for variety of works and was able to handle and answer questions very well. From my side, I have touched base with the asset accounting, project systems, and some other related things from the AP and other things side. I have asked questions. Candidate was really very good and gave all the answers we were expecting more or less. Even the other panel member who was sitting with me, he has also asked a couple of things from his side, and he gave quite satisfactory answers to us, and it was meeting our expectation for the level he was getting interviewed. Only thing which we felt that little bit lacking is maybe a little bit of communication was not fully up to the mark, but it was very minor thing. Other than that, technical wise, knowledge wise, work exposure wise, business scenario wise, accounting entry wise, client facing experience wise, and I think many couple of other factors. This was quite a long interview. It has gone on almost, I think, more than 1.5 hours. It has gone because we have drilled down literally every possible areas we could have touched base with. So all across, all over the things we have touched base with, and overall we felt quite satisfied with the kind of answers we received from the candidate. So because of that, the result has gone positive, and we just after the interview we filled up the feedback and submitted it accordingly. So this is how the interview with the third candidate went on, and candidate has almost 14.5 years of work experience, 13 plus in SAP FICO alone, with regard to the various kind of activities done so far. Let's move further. Now coming to my personal opinion with regard to the interview process of the candidates and what is the interviewer's view is what I would like to tell you. One more thing I will say is this will be the more or less expectation of any kind of interviewer, more or less. Probably not everybody, but most of the people will fall into that category. First and foremost is no one expects 100% clear cut answers. Nobody, because no one can actually give. Everybody will have one or two questions at any given point of time which the person will not be able to handle pretty well. Even the candidate which got selected, I have asked one question and he didn't have any clean cut answer for that. So as long as clean cut answers are majority which you have answered during the interview, you can be sure of that you will be clear that round. Now you may ask from where these questions will be asked. So questions are usually asked based on only three things. First, what you have written in your resume, whatever content and whatever things you have mentioned in your resume throughout, people will pick up the questions from there and will ask questions into those areas. They will start with the basic questions and then slowly they will start digging deeper into the things depending on which level of candidate is available and which level of interview they are taking. I mean, whether it is junior level, middle level, senior most level, or whatever the level may be. Each job can have a different level. That is point one. Then second thing would be they also check whether how far candidate is confident in order to handle the query or handle the customer. Do they have customer facing experience? So some of these things also people usually ask, and that comes from the JD. That is nothing but job description of the role. Couple of questions comes from there as well. Apart from that, suppose take example that if there is a face-to-face interview for a project specific requirement, in that case some of the pain points of the project also will be asked in the interview just to ascertain that whether the candidate they are hiring will be in a position to handle such kind of issues or not. It can be related to the implementation work, it can be related to the support work, it can be related to something else as well, or it can be something related to the process improvement as well. You never know from where the questions are coming on. Now, next part is the communication with the candidate is expected to be usually better than the average candidate. That means it should be at least in the good category, if not the best category. The bare minimum expectation is it should be good. If it is less than good, then it is actually a problem. I have also observed many people while answering the questions, they do not talk to the point. You ask X, they will give you answer as Y. And the moment somebody tries to give answer Y, Z instead of giving answer A or B, I feel that either person does not know anything or person have problem with the attitude in accepting that something that person does not know. This is again not a good sign, I will say. Why? Because you are trying to fool a interviewer, which is not possible in any case. You cannot fool an interviewer. They have much more experience than what you can think of most of the time. I'm not saying all interviewers are also one and same. Some interviewers also can be wrong sometimes, but most of the time they will be clean cut. They know what they are talking about, because interview by nature itself is a serious discussion. It is not a joke, because one discussion can make your life and one discussion can break your life as well. So both has to be prepared accordingly and thoroughly. So giving clear answers is being important. If you don't know something, say I don't know, I don't have to face with, I did not get a chance to work on these things, and that is why I am not aware of. And even if you are giving some around the answers, it should be related to the topic. Don't go not related to the topic answers. If you give some answers which is not related to the topic, and one more thing, sometimes it can also happen due to the nervousness, people do not understand the question clearly. So there is no harm. Be confident, be comfortable, and if you don't understand something, please ask again. Nobody minds it. But giving answers is also an art. Lot of practice are needed to become confident while appearing for the interview. It does not happen in one attempt or one day time. It is a regular preparation which is needed here. If you do the regular preparation, definitely success will come to you. If you don't do that, if you think that okay, I have read once, now I remember everything, I will clear the interview, then interview you, when the moment you will attend the interview will show you your real face, what you are, what you are capable of, and what you can answer. My personal suggestion to all the people who are going to attend any kind of interview is kindly ensure that all your basic concepts must be clean cut in your mind without any ambiguity. Point number one. Point number two, go through your resume thoroughly. Do not write over there something which you are not fully confident on. Remember, it can be basic questions, it can be accounting questions, it can be business scenario based questions. You never know what kind of questions will come. So prepare accordingly. And then while applying, you also get something called as JD, job description for the given role. Go through that JD. Try to understand what all would be what all can be expected from this JD. What all kind of questions can be asked. And if at all it is a project specific thing, then you can ask in advance which kind of project it is, whether it is an implementation project, whether it is a support project, whether it is a data migration project, all such things, all such things, prepare accordingly. With preparation only, you will be coming out in the interview with flying colors. Otherwise, it is really difficult. And finally, my last word with regard to this particular thing is prepare, prepare, and prepare. There is no shortcut for getting a success in the interview rounds. There is no shortcut available. If you try, you will face the heat of it actually. So never try to be doing that. Instead of prepare for the interview and then get the job. Clear the interview, get the job. Let's move further. Now coming to the conclusion part of it. So as I said, you must prepare very well. Remember that every JD and every interview both are actually unique in nature. So do not compare one interview experience with another, because both items are entirely different. And finally, many people do not prepare for the business scenario based questions even nowadays. Whereas people know that these kind of questions are asked usually in the interview, but they don't prepare. They think that whatever they will ask, we will answer them. Preparation doesn't happen that way. You need to probably give lot of mock interviews before you appear for the actual interviews. Most of people don't go through it. Most of the people, most of the candidates, they think that they know everything. And sorry to say, that is not the reality. The reality is entirely different, and that you will get to know only when you attend some mock interviews. That will show you your real preparation, and then you can definitely work on that to make it better. So that's it in this video. If you have any query or any questions related to the topic so far we have discussed, you can drop an email to this particular email ID. Thank you so much for watching this video. Kindly like and share this video, subscribe my YouTube channel, and share it in your circle. Don't keep it to yourself. Share it in the circle. That's it for today. Wish you all a wonderful day ahead. Good day. Bye bye.